there's like a wrestling match happening. Everyone's sweating and exhausted, and then they bring a new guy in, running down, ready to go. It's like he was like the reinforcement for the new drama, and you know, you can imagine if you're seeing 1,000 people for an audition, and someone like Jax Taylor comes out, you go, all right, yeah, you're a little bit of a bozo. You're gonna kind of go there.
And I don't know what her contract is. I mean, I imagine but I mean, Lisa is on the credits for the Valley. So even though she is not on the show, has really nothing to do with the show, I imagine her contract says something like anything spun off ever from Vanderpump Rules for so many, like she is on, I don't know if I think it might even be executive producer. I mean, one of them, she's not working on the show every day, but that is hers. So I don't know what the dollars look like on that, but she is getting credit for that. So, I mean, bravo to Lisa.
You know what's interesting is she's the matriarch of Vanderpump. She's not really she's a main character, but she comes out when they need wisdom or when there's like a sort of a tiebreaker fight scenario. She'll come in to talk to Lala or Tom, whatever. The Valley, I don't know if the Valley has that. Maybe they'll find that, but they don't have someone to sit down to be like, all right, Jax, take this like a man. You're getting broken up. Like they don't really have that mediator yet.
No, they don't. And as far as Jax being the like sympathetic, a lot of people think his check into, the facility was calculated in the sense that now he comes out and he has PTSD. But regardless of that, I have a feeling Jax is going to get the sympathetic edit because you were in rehab. You come, maybe not. Like, I don't know, but I just think like, I mean, are we going to have like, I think it'd be great if they give Brittany the villain edit and she is just, because you see her, there's things on social media like, oh, she opens the door, there's a million beers and liquor coming in, like, then she's out with Zack, the gay guy on, it's like she's getting this thing in the media of like, Brittany is free and Jax is like at home with the son, sad. He's not on the cast trip now. I just wonder, and I think it would be great TV if Jax got this sympathetic edit because everyone fucking hates him.
Yeah,
And
I'm the
Brittany was
same
just
way.
this nasty villain. Like I would be here for it. Like that is good TV.
Well, there is always two sides to a story, and when you watch reality TV, I understand why in a lot of cases it's the easiest emotional decision to side with the female because if a guy cheats or whatever, you can understand. Like everyone loved Ariana, Tom Sandoval. You can understand. Maybe Tom had some points. No, he shouldn't have cheated, but like I love to look at that, and as someone who came in fresh without any past information, I see Katie Maloney, right, and Tom Schwartz, and I go, Tom seems like a good guy, and people go, what are you talking about? He cheated. I go, oh, I didn't know any of that. Like I'm watching it with like with a fresh set of eyes. And with Jax, yeah, I mean, if you walk into a bar and look at Jax, you can almost smell him. You're like, you can just feel. And by the way, I had a stand-up show last year, and Billy Lee was on the show. She's friends with Tom Sandoval, so he's in the audience, and like it was exactly what you thought Tom Sandoval would look like and be like. And this is, following Sandoval. So he's kind of, looking around, knowing he's being recognized. No one's talking to him. I ended up saying hi to him and talking about traders. But, I wouldn't want to, talk about anything more serious than that. But you can see, like, they're all humans, right? So someone like Jax, you go, oh, is it calculated who got mental health? Maybe. But has anyone ever dealt with public scrutiny? It sucks. I've only gotten a small percentage of that, like a mean Reddit thread about you. It sucks. It messes you up. Absolutely PTSD.
Yes, yes, and yes. Now listen, I don't hate Tom Sandoval either. Billy Lee I've had on this show. I don't think she's friends anymore with Tom Sandoval. They've had a fallout. I've met Tom multiple times. I agree. I have nothing but great experiences one-on-one with him. I mean, I think I don't hate him. I think he's kind of charming in a weird roundabout way.
And the sad part is he's a product of living that lifestyle that keeps the show going. So they always say you kind of you only peak maturity level based on when you got famous. And while he's not like famous, or maybe he is now, 10 years ago, like they were young, like those early relationships were young, and I'm sure his relationship with Ariana was toxic. He didn't deal with it in a right way. I don't know how I would deal with that. I don't know if I'd be good at breaking up with someone who, has their own set of issues and things like that. I certainly know cheating on her with Raquel isn't the answer. I certainly know that, but I don't think anyone is as good or as bad as the show ever wants to make them out to see. When you try to explain this to people, because a lot of people watch the show on a reactionary level, right? It's like a dopamine drip. You just watch it like Tuesday night after the finale of The Bachelorette. I go live and people were coming at my throat for my takes about, hey, I don't think the guy was that bad. Sure, he dumped her, but it just wasn't working out. You know what I mean? Like, he dumped her. What are you gonna do? Things don't work out. People were coming after me, and it's like, all right, it's never. You have to imagine every one of these cast members as they might be part of your extended family. We've all got cousins that would literally be the biggest villain on the world, but they're still good people. We love them. They're just kind of like problematic, And I live in a world where you accept people for their flaws. And so I'm way less judgmental than I might have used to be, because we kind of see behind the curtain and you go, all right, everyone's trying their best. Jax, Sandoval, they're kind of made from the same cloth. They're on a TV show that rewards their bad behavior, and they just are trying to, pay their bills and do whatever.
Yes, I'm so not judgmental to any of these people either. And yeah, yes and yes. I feel like, first of all, I have 1,000 bad Reddit threats about me. Not that I read, but people send them to me. Thank you very
Can't
much,
help
everyone.
it. You can't help it. They send it to you. Yeah.
You just like, and I really truly don't care what anyone says about me online, but I didn't start there. You know what I mean? I feel like there is two options. You either feed into it and you have the PTSD and you just curl up at a ball, or you just want, like, you can't, you can preach and talk, you can't get people there. It's either I really say this all the time and everyone comes for me when I say it, but I compare it to being in recovery. You can be dragged by your parents. There could be an intervention. You could be thrown into rehab. You don't get better. You get better and you get out and you use again until you really are at your rock bottom as a person and you just snap and you're like, I'm recovered. I want this. Same thing when you just one day you wake up and you're like, no more. I don't, you could say the worst things about me. You know why? Because this is how I look at it. Like, everyone's coming for you. Thank God everyone is coming for your throat. Thank God you people are so outraged at what you are saying. Like, that's called a brand to me. You are lucky that, like, you know what I mean? That's how I look at it. You can argue with me and hate me all day. Like, I am so lucky that you are so impassioned about the words coming out of my mouth.
Yeah, I remember having an opinion once, maybe like 5 years ago, and someone goes, Dave Neal, who the hell are you? And now they write threads about you. They write threads about who you follow, what you've said. And I've heard from people that have been canceled. And I know it's a tough term. People don't realize what canceling is. And I define it as, it doesn't mean you're never going to work again, but some people you might get canceled from a gig. My buddy got us canceled from a stand-up show because he made a fat joke and he was supposed to do clean jokes. And that cost me $1,000. We got canceled, So, like, it does happen, and it's fine. But the people that I know that have been like hard canceled, they go, it's actually freeing. I don't have to live up to anyone else's expectations now. And this is coming from me, I'm wildly unproblematic. But there was a good example last week. Caitlin Bristow from The Bachelorette and Dancing with the Stars winner. She's got her own podcast, Off the Vine.